There is a story of a woman running away from tigers. She runs, and the tigers are getting closer and closer. When she comes to the edge of a cliff, she sees some vines there, so she climbs down and holds on to the vines.
Looking down, she sees that there are tigers below her as well. She then notices that a mouse is gnawing away at the vine to which she is clinging. She also sees a beautiful little bunch of strawberries close to her, growing out of a clump of grass. She looks up and she looks down. She looks at the mouse, then she just takes the strawberry, puts it in her mouth, and enjoys it thoroughly.
Tigers above, tigers below. This is actually the predicament that we are always in terms of our own birth and death. Each moment is just what it is. It might be the only moment of our life. It might be the only strawberry we'll ever eat. We could get depressed about it, or we could finally appreciate it and delight in the preciousness of every single moment of our life.
We are the proof of life our ancestors gave. We are the proof of love from the cradle to the grave. We are the best of struggles that we won't have to bear.
We think that the point is to pass the test or overcome the problem, but the truth is that things don't really get solved. They come together and they fall apart. Then they come together again and fall apart again. It's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Room for grief, for relief, for misery, for joy.
Sometimes it don't go your way. Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes it don't go your way. Sometimes you gotta. Yeah. I had a plan, I had it mapped out.
You are the sky. Everything else is just weather.
But now I know things change for better or worse. You could say that I'm the same, but I adjusted to all the hurt. So many no's, so many yeses. No one to blame, don't got the answers. I felt the pain, I can't attest it. That's just the game and I respect it, yeah. Cause sometimes shit don't go your way. Sometimes. And sometimes you gon' have those days, yeah. And sometimes you feel out of place.
Rejoicing in ordinary things is not sentimental or trite. It actually takes guts. Each time we drop our complaints and allow everyday good fortune to inspire us, we enter the warrior's world.
If your mind is expansive and unfettered, you will find yourself in a more accommodating world, a place that's endlessly interesting and alive. That quality isn't inherent in the place, but in your state of mind.
And you can dance for inspiration. Come Come on. I like you. Get into the groove, boy. You got to prove your love to me. Get up on your feet, yeah, step to the beat. Oh, what will it be? Music can be such a revelation. Dancing around, you feel the sweet sensation. We might be lovers if the rhythm's right. I hope this feeling never ends tonight. Only when I'm dancing can I feel this free. At night, I lock the doors where no one else can see. I'm tired of dancing here all by myself. Tonight, I wanna dance with someone else. Get into the groove, boy. You got
Life's work is to wake up, to let the things that enter your life wake you up rather than put you to sleep. The only way to do this is to be open, be curious, and develop some sense of sympathy for everything that comes along, to get to know its nature and let it teach you what it will.
We don't set out to save the world. We set out to wonder how other people are doing and to reflect on how our actions affect other people's hearts.
When you open yourself up to the continually changing, impermanent, dynamic nature of your own being and of reality, you increase your capacity to love and care about other people and your capacity to not be afraid.
You are able to keep your eyes open, your heart open, and your mind open. And you notice when you get caught up in prejudice, bias, and aggression. You develop an enthusiasm for no longer watering these negative seeds from now until the day you die. And you begin to think of your life as offering endless opportunities to start to do things differently.
Steffi, comment ça va? Salseli, belle François. כולם עולים על הבר, תרימו לחיים, אין על הקטר. עושים מסיבה נחר. Attends, attends, je tape dans la nozo comme un tam-tam. Pour le balagan, donnez-moi le micro et le tam-tam. Motek, mami, mueve, tena, nili, à la top. Tena, nili, à la top. Tena, nili, à la top. Kapara, bala, Gucci, ve Bali, Azara. Imani, Bibi, Azati, Zara. La mama, Zahiti, mami, Shelly. Kol ma שעשית מדי.
Like all explorers, we are drawn to discover what's out there.
Without knowing yet if we have the courage to face it.
To be fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be continually thrown out of the nest. To live fully is to be always in no man's land, to experience each moment as completely new and fresh. To live is to be willing to die over and over again.
Dis-moi qui t'es, je te dirai ce que t'as. Où sont mes potos, où sont mes gavas? ידיים למעלה למי שמוכן. כולם עושים פה עכשיו בלאגן. כולם עושים פה עכשיו בלאגן. כפרה. סטפי, comment ça va?
None of us is ever okay, but we all get through everything just fine.
Compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. It's a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness well can we be present with the darkness of others. Compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity.
And the land is dark y la luna es la luz.
nutshell, when life is pleasant, think of others. When life is a burden, think of others.
Living is a form of not being sure, not knowing what next or how. The moment you know how, you begin to die a little. The artist never entirely knows. We guess. We may be wrong, but we take leap after leap in the dark.
And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand junto a mí. And darling,
Feelings like disappointment, embarrassment, irritation, resentment, anger, jealousy, and fear, instead of being bad news, are actually very clear moments that teach us where it is that we're holding back.
They teach us to perk up and lean in when we feel we'd rather collapse and back away. They're like messengers that show us with terrifying clarity exactly where we're stuck. This very moment is the perfect teacher, and lucky for us, it's with us wherever we are.
Rise. When the night has come and the land is dark y la luna es la luz que brilla ante mí. Miedo no tendré. Oh, I won't me asustaré just as long as you stay.
Letting there be room for not knowing is the most important thing of all. When there's a big disappointment, we don't know if it's the end of the story. It may just be the beginning of a great adventure. Life is like that. We don't know anything. We call something bad, we call it good. But really, we just don't know.
Relaxing with the present moment. Relaxing with death. Not resisting the fact that things end. That things pass. That things have no lasting substance. That everything is changing all the time. That is the basic message.
We are the love of strangers that say a silent prayer. We are the love of mothers that taught our hearts to care. We are the patience in the sacrifice of yesterday. The silence in between the breaths of all the words we say. We are.
When things fall apart and we can't get the pieces back together, when we lose something dear to us, when the whole thing is just not working and we don't know what to do, this is the time when the natural warmth of tenderness, the warmth of empathy and kindness are just waiting to be uncovered, just waiting to be embraced.
This is our chance to come out of our self-protecting bubble and to realize that we are never alone. This is our chance to finally understand that wherever we go, everyone we meet is essentially just like us. Our suffering, if we turn toward it, can open us up to a loving relationship with the world.
We are the seed of of children that may never know our names. We are the piece of people that won't bow their heads in shame. We are. We walk upon the earth, we knock on heaven's door. We are the life that teems along the deepest ocean floor. We are. We The present, the past, the future days to come. The Alpha, the Omega, we are everything, the one. We are.
Finally, never give up on yourself, and then you will never give up on others.